I'm convinced that I'm part of the world's biggest psyop of all time because half the cartoons I watched as a kid, I'm pretty sure were not real at all. Either that or I'm literally the only person on the planet that's seen them. Obviously, I watch the regular shit like SpongeBob, Ben 10, and Steven Universe, but then there's the shit that I've almost never heard anyone mention before. And I'm not talking about the fake obscure shit that was just so ass that people didn't want to talk about them. Nah, I mean the ones that where as I grow older, I start to think that maybe they never existed and I made them up in my mind. Or maybe it's just an early sign of dementia or schizophrenia. Like, what the fuck is a kung fu? And I used to get down to this shit too. It's like if Tree Fu Tom wasn't fucking mid and for dumb babies. Football plus kung fu voodoo? Come on, tell me that's not some heat. I was unfortunate enough to be born in the UK, if you couldn't tell by my super comprehensible accent, meaning I was subjected to British television. And our kids shows were very interesting, let's just say that. There's this one show in particular that felt like an actual fever dream. There was this show called Grizzly Tales, right? And you know how typically kids shows have the moral of the story at the end of the episode, like, remember kids, don't fuck your dog or whatever bullshit. So I don't know how they were allowed to show this on children's television, but the plot summary of this children's cartoon is it's an anthology series of annoying shit ass kids usually dying or being brutally punished in ways related to how they were behaving. Yep, British TV, everybody. Can't beat a lesson into your kids, then traumatize it into them. There's this one episode with a kid who is addicted to making prank calls and is visited by, I kid you not, the gas man, and is given helium to change his voice, and then turns into a fucking balloon and flies into fucking space. The UK also aired some Canadian shows because we can never make our own shit. I had to watch stuff like Jacob Tutu, My Dad the Rockstar, League of Super Evil, Stoked, which was basically 16's younger sibling that nobody cared about, Stormhawks, Team Galaxy, and Atomic Bay, which was, by the way, one of the coolest shows to me as a kid, and it had a killer theme song. Another Canadian cartoon I used to love, and I've rarely heard people talk about, is The Detention Air. I'm pretty sure this was one of the first cartoons I watched that followed an actual plotline. Now I'm just saying, right, Lee is a better man than me, because if I was sentenced to a 4 year of detention for something that I didn't do, I'm just saying... Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning bed. Anyway, there were also a few anime that aired on TV, and I watched before I even knew what anime really was. And let me tell you, these shits were weird, okay? Maybe not as weird as the anime today, but you get the point. Like, if you asked me what the hell was going on in Shugoshara, I could not tell you a single thing that happened in that show. All I remember was this pink-haired girl in school with her little whatever the fuck these are, doing whatever the fuck she was doing. I don't know, don't ask me. Another one was Kilari. Once again, I don't remember jack shit about what was happening, but Lord Almighty, this song has stuck with me for 10 plus years. While you were watching Digimon and Pokemon, I was watching the Jewel Pets movie. Don't ask me why all of these are very girly. But you know what's not girly though? The greatest anime of all time, Peak Fiction Ultimate Muscle. I remember I used to literally leap out of bed at 9:30 in the morning on Saturdays, turn on Kicks to sit in front of the TV and watch this shit every week. At the time, I had no idea it was a continuation of the Kinnikuman series, but I was still hyped every time. Once again, it had a killer theme song, and I used to sing every single lyric to it, every single time, and I still know it to this day. Anyway, here's some other shows that I couldn't fit anywhere else into the video. I also lived outside the UK for some time as a kid, meaning I also had to watch French TV growing up. And honestly, French cartoons are kinda underrated. Some of my favorites were Kaelu, Angelo, Flopper, this bullshit. I remember I got in trouble for watching Sweet Little Monsters because the French name literally translates to Little Demons. Another one I really liked was Lou because, and speaking of, there was this one cartoon called Little Spirou, and boy oh boy, let me tell you, his mom and math teacher, now I'm not entirely sure why they did this, but for some reason this show gave them jiggle physics. I thought this was supposed to be a kid show, right? But now that I'm looking at the comic, what the fuck is wrong with French people? So